That's the funny
Yes, here we are.
Yes.
We are live.
Oh, I love live.
This is the Love Gurus
Live is good.
podcast. Thank you guys for being here. We are going to take ridiculous dating questions. You think your love life is going kind of bad?
I hear the music.
I hear country and western music.
It's yeah.
Somebody
That's
bring
not in your
back
head.
my truck
That's
with
not
my
in
wife
your head.
in it.
That's a real
From our great
technology.
Joel. Shout out to him right now. Sorry,
I'm shaking
we were
my head
delayed.
in.
Joel's probably asleep. He's like, well, they're probably not doing
Compliance.
podcast.
Ah, your mom jokes.
Yeah.
Love a mom joke.
Oh, this podcast is starting off on a start.
Bro, we're out here crushing.
We crush it like Pop-Tarts and
Know what I mean?
Oh, I was going to say like grapes.
grapes and feet. Grapes and Lucy.
Crushing it like grapes and feet. That's funny.
We crush it like grapes and frites on a weird French man's OnlyFans.
So,
Yes.
Oh, you know that already exists.
So we don't have the intro, we played the intro song, but we don't have the other music queued up, but that's okay because we're here. It's Thursday. We're a little late because of technical difficulties, but I mean the Love Gurus we're excited. And
Yes!
so yeah, thank you
We
to all
love
of
you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry for the wait.
Yeah.
We are going to take your ridiculous dating questions from not just you guys, but the internet. We're going to do Reddit dating questions. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a long show.
And
Yes.
so we have two hilarious guests with us tonight. The first and returning guest, Mr. Christopher Wagner.
Yes!
Thank you so much for inviting me back again. I love this spot, this love dome you guys have here. Congratulations on the beautiful baby that's coming and the janitor of Just for Laughs.
Yeah.
You got that position. It's now ironclad.
Someone
It's a long
needed to
commute.
Clean up the booze and the jizz and whatever they had going on in those booths, and I was happy to be that.
Well, Amy
guy.
What
Schumer
an
was there,
honor.
so there was a lot of jizz.
What an honor. And then a first-time
She
guest.
actually cut down on the jizz.
Yeah.
She got
You contain it to a glass and have it after the...
And then our second, also a hilarious stand-up comedian, Mr. Daniel Louis Vezza.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Hi,
Thank you for
everybody.
being here.
I like how they said there are technical difficulties, but they can clearly see a shot glass with vodka in it right there. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Thank you.
well,
It's-
we didn't specify what made the technical difficulties. We were just saying listen, if you had a bunch of vodka, it's hard to set a bunch of wires up, okay?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah, technically, if you've been drinking all day and trying to do a podcast with lots of cameras and wires, things get difficult.
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
So it's not
That
going to
makes
start
sense.
on time.
Yes. But
What do you want?
so that being said, and since we are late, let's just dive right into our first question.
Oh, shit, yeah. But first,
Thumbs
let's
up.
say hi to our amazing associate producer.
Yes.
She is the official fill-in.
He's stumbling over his wife's intro.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, yes.
You know you got her
Give it
pregnant,
up
right?
for
You better get this
Amory.
right.
Give it
See
up
if
for
she can
Amy.
think.
Amy.
Amy?
I think so.
They can
okay.
still see us. Okay. So you
Okay.
did see her, but we can't
Yes,
see
yes,
her.
yes. Keep it going.
Boy, did
for
we
the
fumble that up.
Official
Yes.
producer,
I
Amy.
did
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
awesome.
So that being said, so first question on the Love Gurus podcast.
Here's the first question on the Love Gurus podcast. People,
I got-
if you have a question to write it to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, write in the chat box every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. For right now, we are going to. I don't even think we're live, are we?
That music makes me think that the dog is winding up behind me and going to bite me.
I think something about
I think something got bumped. Here we go.
It says, here, look on here.
Oh yeah, we're
See,
live.
It's going.
Yeah.
It's just not connected to the TV.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Um,
I'd rather not see
No,
you
I
either.
don't think it's.
Sure. Here we go. So,
Are you guys? So you definitely going? We should keep.
Definitely going. So yeah, I mean,
either way.
So the
here's-
first, there we are. That's.
oh my God!
I know that guy.
See us. Here we go.
I know that guy. He owes me
Yes.
money.
Okay, sorry. We are. Wow. Okay. All right. So first question on the Love Gurus podcast.
First question on Love Gurus Podcast. People, if you have any questions to write in, write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. We're going to take our first question from the wild animals on Reddit.
Ooh.
I got left out of a party because his wife doesn't like me. Coworker Dan is 35 and I'm 27. We started working together earlier this year. We aren't on the same team, but we often hang out at lunch or at the bar afterwards with everyone else. We aren't super close, but we are pretty friendly. Yesterday, a coworker that I'm close with pulled me aside and told me that she felt bad but because some people were invited over to Dan's house over the weekend for a party. It wasn't only coworkers. Some of Dan's other friends and his wife's friends were at the party as well. I was a bit hurt that I wasn't invited and asked if she knew why. Maybe I did something to upset Dan. She told me that the general consensus was that Dan's wife didn't like me hanging around him at work or happy hour, and apparently I give her homewrecker vibes. My friend overheard the wife telling her friends this, and that from a different area. The wife also was weirded out that I follow him on Instagram, and I like every single one of his posts, even though he doesn't follow me back.
Oh!
So I don't have any feelings for Dan beyond work friendliness, but now I feel like I've done something wrong. I'm made out to be this office hussy. It seems there's some undercurrent in our department now that they think that I did something improper involving Dan. I went into the snack lounge, and 3 of the women who were there stopped talking abruptly and just gave me a really weird forced greeting. What should I do to diffuse this situation? My natural instinct is to talk to Dan, but I feel like this would cause more drama. What should I do? So we have a woman who she didn't get invited to a party over the weekend. Wah, wah. And the question is, why? Well, it's apparently because the guy who had the party, his wife doesn't like her because she seems like the office bicycle, which,
in the beginning, you had said that they had some camaraderie. Right?
Yeah,
okay. I missed the first
They
part.
have lunch every day. They go to happy hour. She follows him on Instagram and likes every single one of his posts.
Yeah, I don't think she's
ahead.
being honest. I think she's a true stalker who wants to fuck this guy.
Okay.
I
That could
agree.
She got called out on it, and now she's trying to deny the whole thing.
I think she's one of those girls that doesn't have any girlfriends. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The wife can obviously see that she's like so attractive that she can play the game.
I don't think we're streaming.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
Amy
think
says we.
It says it's
Oh, foiled
I think
again.
something got-
Let me tape it on my phone and then we'll just upload it.
It says stop streaming right there. Hang on.
Well, I think I've got this girl figured out. God damn it.
That's true.
I don't think we were ever streaming.
And if we were streaming, I hope GD didn't go out. Sorry, Sandy.
Well, sometimes we do.
Sorry, Aunt Sandy.
We do come up with the perfect question while not
I
streaming.
hear me.
And it's kind of tough.
Amy, there's definitely something now.
There's something going on right now.
So we're just idly
It's
losing.
really delayed, or is that just my phone?
I don't know. I mean, there's something going on.
Let's see if we hear. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aunt
we're-
Sandy was like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's very delayed. Is that always normal?
I think
As long as it's still being, well,
I think we're still going out
it
right
says
now.
that there's 4 watching. Yeah, I think it's working.
Yeah. I still think people are listening
So,
right now.
okay, so that being said,
if
sorry.
you're listening right now, give us a shout out in the chat because
microphone check.
Yes. Yeah.
Can somebody give me a shout out?
Our amazing producer Amy says we're
on
not
Okay.
live, but I believe we are.
Okay, so that being said, yeah. So again, yeah, I agree with Dan's theory that her perception of what she's doing she's either lying or her perception of what she's doing is much different than reality. She's saying, "Oh, I'm so innocent. We just have lunch every day. Like, what's the big deal?" I think
you're right. At lunch is fine, but every day that's sort of like a nerd friend.
Yeah.
But you're going to have drinks after work. Forget it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's on the table.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Why is my man going to drinks with this girl?
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about?
This guy's wife is looking at his husband's Instagram profile and sees that she likes every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'd have
that's
an
a
issue
big-
with that.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's a big thing. But also, she just like isn't. Again, like from the wife's perspective, yeah, like that seems very weird. If you're gonna have a party where you're having fun, like like you don't care about her feelings and leaving her out. Like,
No,
why
seriously,
would you
of
want
course.
her at a
No,
fun
you would want
party?
her out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
your job
Yeah,
as a wife to keep the riffraff out of the house.
That's actually the point of the party. A point of a party, just in general, is to invite people you like over.
That's the premise.
That's the point of a party.
Yeah,
you don't invite people you don't like.
Right, that's the premise of Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Also, it's a little bit suspicious that her screen
Yeah.
name is Homewrecker69. I think that's weird.
I know, it's surprising. Like, you'd think that on Reddit this was taken, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was almost like the universe was like, no, we're going to keep
No,
this for a
you-
special one.
Yeah, no.
Well,
A
she's
special
been
home
she's
wrecker.
been that way so long that
I know.
she knew to hop on that.
Well, I mean, yeah, again, I really, when I first
No
read this,
pun.
I thought it was a little juicier, but it's pretty cut and dry. So we're just going to jump to final advice for this one. My final advice for this home wrecker is you're a home wrecker, whether you know it or not. And the fact that you're completely unself-aware of what you're doing, I mean, this is a lesson for you. Like, yeah, don't just if you're mutually following someone on Instagram, don't like every single person's post, you psycho. Like, what are you doing? He's
Right.
married.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
The web
respect the
footprint.
boundaries
Right.
of that marriage.
You're being creepy. Everyone sees it. No one's cool with it.
That, and nobody
Yeah. And she's like, because her main question is, what do I do to diffuse this situation? Delete your Instagram, probably first and foremost. It sounds like you need to have a little bit of a break, deactivate your account, and just stop talking to Dan. Just stop. Stop socializing with work bitches. Just
Yeah, it's
stop,
apparent
because
what
you
you-
do not have boundaries. Okay, what do you
Right.
guys have for final advice?
Respect to the guy's wife for being like, no, she's not coming.
I know, I like the guy's
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like her because she likes him because he's not. I don't think he's.
You think he's playing into it a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you think he-
I think lunch is one thing. Going out for drinks,
I-
unless everybody's there,
No, I
or
think
they're
that
splitting nachos. There's
he probably gets to the lunchroom first. She sits with him.
Gotcha.
He's going to happy hour with someone else. She finds
you got
out
the whole
about it.
novel of it.
shows-
Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
You're right.
Hi.
Oh, are you having pie again today? I am too. We finish each other's sentences.
Yeah, there's definitely, I don't think that the guy is playing into it at all.
Okay.
Because she would say, "Oh, but
Okay.
he says I like hanging out with you."
Oh wait, and then
What's he
Th-
going to say? It's a
there
work
was-
situation. I don't like hanging out with
yeah.
you. He's being polite.
He wasn't
I
really.
think you're a massive cunt. Like, yeah,
He
they
didn't really
discourage
care.
the C word at work. I've
Yeah.
been told.
Even in Shakespearean plays, somebody had to die via knife fight.
Yes.
I mean, that was a whole goddamn thing.
Yeah. So, what other final advice do we have for this person?
All right.
Be a different change as a person.
Look at look at your past, and if that is something that you see a pattern, maybe try to think of somebody who's maybe you're not the first intention to like, oh, I want that. The other guy that has like D&D likes or something else. I don't know. I'm just making examples, but try to find somebody else.
Yeah, find a single guy to stalk.
Right.
Yeah.
Of
There's
course.
a lot of them out there.
But I have
That
a
was the
feeling
simple
that's not her
version.
thing.
Yeah. Well, I want somebody already established so I can take her out and put me in.
Yeah.
Kids, dog, house, nothing to do.
Yeah. Work's all done. Just gonna come and take the victory lap.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Right? The cut the line girl. Go ahead.
My advice to her is like, listen, there's always a younger, hotter intern, and you need to find that dude. You know what I mean? And somehow make your current boyfriend jealous via IG, Instagram
right. The
stories.
new kid.
You know.
And that's a good point. Be the boss. Make
Yes.
somebody want you as
Just
opposed
because you're
to.
not the boss doesn't mean you can't be the hottest, associate producer there is.
Yeah.
Right.
If the whole office is against you,
Yeah, that's another thing too. That's uncomfortable.
You know?
Finding that out is
yeah.
We're behind on a comment. So from Joel, Joel says she should definitely blow Dan in the lunchroom and then go on a date with someone else. That way she can prove that she's not interested in doing Dan. Amazing advice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's almost as good as
totally proves that you don't want to have
trying-
sex with him when you just give him a blowjob.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's up there with like trying to have a threesome with them.
Yeah.
Like
If you
try to
say
get her on
yes.
your side. At least you'll have him too.
Yeah.
If you say hello to Dan and your breath smells like Peter, I mean that's a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'd also like to point out to this person that they were talking about you for the entire party you weren't invited to. Non-stop shit talking.
100%.
What a fucking whore. Thank God she's not here.
Joel on YouTube says, by the way, I'm changing my name to Dan. Nice! Yeah! Oh, is that Dan in the lunchroom? No, it's Joel! It's Joel!
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Joel is the fucking man.
Well, perfect. I think we answered that question. We should move on to our next question on the Love Gurus podcast.
All right, next question on Love Gurus Podcast. People, if you've got any questions to write into the Love Gurus Podcast, write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. If not, tune in every single... this fucking thing doesn't work for the audio, or does it
No, it's
right
not.
about now?
Oh, now it is.
There we go. Write your questions into loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, listen every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Like and subscribe. For right now, we're going to listen to our next insane question from the Wild Animals Army.
Next question. I broke up with my boyfriend for him taking his family out. I'm 26 and my boyfriend's 28. We've been dating for 2 years and we live together. Due to him having employment issues for the past 5 to 6 months, we haven't gone on many dates. And the ones that we did go on, I paid for. Well, after 2 months, he finally caught up on all his bills and he told me that he was going to take his aunt out to coffee. Then about an hour later, he told me that since he couldn't go to his cousin's birthday party, he was going to take her out to breakfast. Well, I lost it when he called me at work to tell me that he was going to now take his little sister to lunch. I told him that he hasn't asked me out yet, and I feel like I'm not a priority, and my feelings were hurt. In the heat of the moment, I told him that I didn't think I could be in a relationship with someone who doesn't think of me or put our intimacy as a priority. He got really quiet, and he said, "Oh, okay, sorry, okay," and then got off the phone. My texts aren't going through to him now, but neither are my calls. I don't know if he's blocked me or is just ignoring me, but I'm panicking. I didn't mean to break up, but why is he taking everyone else out and not me? I think I made a mistake and I acted too fast. What should I do to save the situation? So what basically happened was this woman was dating some broke ass, right? Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. But he got his life together, okay? He turned it around. Now he has a job. Now he has money. So now that he has a little spending dough, he's taking his aunt out to coffee. He's taking his sister to lunch, his cousin to breakfast. It is every meal of the day covered. I mean, what a nice gesture. Well, the one person he didn't invite, his girlfriend.
And they're living together.
And they're living together.
That's
So
wild.
she doesn't even get the leftovers from Denny's. Know what I'm saying? She just gets to sit at home.
And then it says here that she broke up with him.
Well,
because of that.
she's saying like she broke up with him sort of over the phone, but they live together.
Live
So
together,
Yeah, so
I don't
yeah,
think he's
I'm
emergency moving out. That's the hope that
It's
he's not.
Sort of like stop being 16 or give him the distance because you live together. It's not like you're in your parents' house and you're like, I'm not going to see you at all, or you don't do anything with me.
So I usually hate the people writing the question, but I do kind of feel like she has a little bit of a point. You know, if you're with someone and you paid the very few dates you went on the last 6 months, you paid for all of them, and now he finally has some money, and he's like, oh, by the way, I'm taking my aunt out to coffee. You know, it's just coffee, whatever.
Right.
But I would also be a little upset, like, hey, you don't want to take me to get some pizza? Like, I mean, we can go to Pizza Hut. I don't care. But
what do you
I
think
would sort
about
of
this?
expect to be asked on a
With
day.
you describing it,
I
I
would at
love
least
that you
need a sentence
describe
or
it
two.
because
Sure.
I lose track halfway through, and I'm like, what happened in the beginning?
I know.
And
It's
that
a
you
long
describe it,
line.
it brings it back, and I'm like, oh yeah. Now I forgot it. Now I forgot it. What I was? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the nature of what she's doing is fine. With again, we said just sort of like a rough one or two diplomatic kind of sentence to where she's like, okay, listen, I'm hanging out without you because I love you so much and we spend so much of our lives together. I just kind of need to be around other people. The fact that she didn't need to do that means that they're trying to prep her for a fucking emergency jetpack. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to parachute her out from you.
So if I understand what you're saying correctly, you're saying that actually in reality the family is on board with the fact that he was using her when he was unemployed.
Right.
Now they're trying to push her out of the airplane like DB Cooper. Is that what you're saying?
DB Cooper,
Yes.
nice.
Not only doesn't the family like him, they want to murder him in a plane.
No. It's the woman writing the
Her.
question. But I see
Her.
what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah. So maybe it is the family's
Right.
like, listen, let's all get together. We need to talk about Kristen, and you know.
I empathize with this guy. I fuck up like this all the time.
Really?
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
And that if you
damn.
live together, that's
Yeah.
a commitment. 6 months is a drop in the bucket. When I said you describe things, that's what I wanted to get to. Is like I'm on this guy's side a little bit just because I forget stuff like that, and
He's just
we're partners. 6 months is nothing. Sorry, but
Yeah.
what I was going to say was communication.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
that's the time for her to say to him, "Listen, this is what's happening," instead of
Yeah.
reaching out to us?
That-
You
That
gotta,
should- go ahead.
yeah, and it built. I think it built up a little bit in her. She was like, okay,
Yeah,
she's taking this guy
right.
now. Okay, she should have probably said something. Like, okay, let's go out, you and me. But
Sure.
she let it happen. She was like, every member of the
Right.
family got taken out before her. I can understand that would build up, but you got to communicate before.
Yeah, certainly.
happens.
Like it shouldn't be that if you're especially if you're living together and there's an issue comes up, the first thing out of your mouth shouldn't be like, "I'm breaking up with you." It should you say the issue
Yeah.
first, even if just like very faintly,
Oh,
unless
shit.
you
That's the
unless you
worst,
catch
yeah.
unless you catching him sucking someone else off.
That's right. Well,
then,
yeah,
then
yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay. You
yeah.
can go right to the breakup
Yeah.
part.
That was like
But if
3
it's-
steps too
yeah,
far.
but if you walk in and he's like watching Bridgerton without you, well, no, still break up. I'm breaking up with
We're
you.
having tea
Also-
and sandwiches.
I'm not good at this game.
By the way, you're 26. This is what 26-year-olds do.
26, yeah.
You know what I
you're
mean?
right.
It's just
Right.
it's just like
Not
And
so.
the fact that he's taking his
Yeah.
grandmother out for coffee.
Well, he's
or
28.
Is that
Yeah. And
actually what
he's
he's
taking
doing?
he's taking his family members out. It's not like he's going out with his bros to get wasted without you. He
That's
probably
that is actually a really good
That's
point.
a
Yeah.
very
I
good
would
point.
be way madder in that situation. Like
Without a
the
doubt.
family is one thing. It's kind of like
And
like
then
you
what,
said,
the
it's like
sister?
ooh, but yeah, the sister like
The
these.
grandmother and the sister, she has no.
Yeah, it's not like he and his acapella group are going out for tequila shots. I mean,
Right.
that would be way worse.
Also, this is his family, and you're his girlfriend of 2 years.
Right.
Of course, you're a lower priority.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
That's
100%.
you should be a lower priority.
Yeah. So, okay. So here's what my final advice is for this question. So, okay. So first and foremost, just take this as a little lesson in communications. Don't just say we're breaking up the instant something happens. Just say the issue first aloud and then try and work it out. But also, yeah, I think, yeah, so he's not calling you. But again, if you guys live together, just when you get home, just say, I'm sorry I blew up, and then say the issue. And then you can practice it in the car. Maybe don't listen to Spotify on the way home. Practice saying it in the car. Then when you get home, say the issue. And then, as Dan was saying, maybe he just like really kind of forgot. And it's just like such an honest mistake. So, yeah. And then
Right.
go from there. Yeah. What do you guys think? What's your final advice?
I think, I mean, I agree with that. It's like learn how to communicate more.
Yeah.
Do it more often. And I don't understand the fact, like, he's not returning your calls, but you live together. I'm
Yeah.
not sure
I
what's
think
going
that-
on here.
Because sometimes what happens a lot on Reddit is that people like panic post, which I don't understand 100%. Like if I'm going to post on Reddit, I'm going to take a couple days to think about it.
Oh, okay.
But some people will be like,
Right.
I'm trapped in a closet and there's an alligator outside. What do I do?
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, well, I don't know if really posting on Reddit is going to give you the emergency
Call
services that you
911.
need. But people do that all the time. Like it's just like a panic in the moment post on Reddit.
People will
I
tell
could
me what to
ask
do
the advice of
immediately.
people closest to me, or I could get the crazy green frog insane advice from you guys.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
what we're giving.
Go ahead.
No,
yeah. What's your final advice?
I think that she doesn't realize what a commitment they have with living together.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a bigger. Don't go from 0 to 11 when something happens. What are you going to get a U-Haul right then?
I know.
But not only that, realize the commitment you have. Say things like, "Hey, I would love to go out with your grandma and you and have like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me be a part of because I want to grow with her and I want to grow with your sister."
Yeah.
You know, logically think about what's going on.
Yeah.
Try to play into it and not out of it because now you're on the other side. You're the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're like you against them. It's like you're really
Yeah.
beating
And also
down the
the
wrong.
other. Oh, go
What's
ahead.
he going to apologize? Sorry, I took my aunt out for coffee.
Yeah.
You have
You better be. It's like,
you have no
shitty.
argument.
Yeah.
Right.
Because also think about, when you're telling your friends this story in the future of why you guys broke up, you're going to be like, oh, I broke up with him because he was taking his aunt out for coffee and his sister out for lunch. It's like, well, you're fucking crazy.
Well-
And here's the other thing you need to think about. When you get labeled crazy, that shit takes years to wipe off your reputation, okay? We are not talking like a 6-month no cleanse. That is years of your reputation down the drain. It takes a lot of work to get that. I'm still years away. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm still working on it myself.
You
so
know, then you smear swastikas on the car with your feces once.
Yeah, and then
It takes years.
years
now
to
you
get
don't
rid
know
of
how
that.
to wipe. You know,
Yeah.
your whole life.
I'm still trying to explain why my grandmother was in Argentina for
Yeah.
all those years. She was out of her mind, you know?
The Oktoberfest there is unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well-
Any other final advice, or shall we move
No,
on?
I think I spewed.
All right, okay. My final advice is you're clearly done with her. So do a sorry, what was the question again?
What do you think the lotto numbers are going to be for October 27th?
6,
2027.
7, 8, 9, 7
In a row.
Yeah.
5, 6, 4. If you don't pick those, you deserve
Yeah.
to die
So-
in poverty.
Yeah. Let's catch up on a couple YouTube comments. Joel on YouTube says, "Did Suzanne say that they broke up over the phone, or am I missing that?" Yeah, they broke up on the
Yeah.
phone. It was as we said in a panic post. I should have been more clear about that.
But then she's got to go. She's going to be home in a couple of hours with this guy.
yeah,
Right.
It's
Well, that sounds like hey, listen, now you're not paying attention to me. This is remember when we used to text or do beepers and you'd say 911? Whatever the information was, you'd want it right now. That
Yeah.
was her 911.
Oh, sure.
She was like, okay, it's over. And he's supposed to be like, no, I'm leaving my grandmother right now. I'll be on the way.
Yeah.
She's a drama queen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Amy on YouTube says, Reddit is here to save the day. Yay!
Yay!
It definitely is. Joel on YouTube says, my 16-year-old stepson got his 18-year-old girlfriend pregnant. She moved into our house when the baby was 8 months old. The stepson went to visit his dad and broke up with the girlfriend via text while she was here with us. Wow.
I don't get that. My
Yeah,
16-year-old
that's-
stepson.
So-
I'll
That's
read this.
a little
Yeah.
much.
The stepson moved in with them because his girlfriend was pregnant. Then the stepson leaves and then breaks up with the girlfriend after the baby's born, who's living with her step-in-laws. And he broke up with her via
Dude,
text.
this is like, yeah.
Oh, shit. This sounds like Jerry Springer.
You know what? I hate to sound like a broken
Yeah.
record, but I do this all the time too. This is a fucking issue that I have. I'm always 16 getting somebody pregnant.
Yes.
What? Yeah,
Daniel is
When you
like
should
Joe.
do it.
He's like 3 steps step. I mean, this is wild. This is
I have to admit, I have broken up with people via text, but it's only after they've ghosted me for like 6 months. So it's not as bad.
You get the last word. You're like,
Wow.
listen, I didn't want to date you anyway.
You
I
know,
thought you were out on business.
Here's a business idea. We do this often on the Love Gurus where we come up with a business idea to match the technology of today. They need to figure out a way to serve court documents via text, because let's stop it with this whole paper or serve you at, in an embarrassing restaurant or something. Let's just make it so you can text court documents back and forth, and then your stepson can just sort out his child support payments that way. So
Does he legally have to pay child support payments if he's 16 years old? I mean, he's not an adult.
Oh,
Depends
well,
on the state, I guess, right?
I'm assuming that once he becomes an adult member of society.
Then
Joel,
you'll
what
have
state
to-
was this in?
He's
But
in
I think
Tennessee.
she's... Oh, well, there's
He's
no
from
holds barred.
Tennessee.
Never mind. He
There you
has
go. This
no
is a-
obligation at all.
If you're 2 degrees separated stepwise, you're only entitled to record sales, and
Unless you're a
not-
cousin, and then
Yeah,
you get
can
full
you-
record sales.
Oh, I mean,
You're-
that's
you-
just like
you
so
go.
heartbreaking.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
18 years old, living in your step-in-law's house, and you get dumped via. I mean, like that is Jesus take the wheel moment if I've ever
is-
heard one.
It's kind of hard to get mad at a 16-year-old for acting this way, though, right?
For acting like a 16-year-old.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be
mean-
flipping out too.
Yeah, it's so Amy says
I'm
another
such a
crazy one.
shitty
Joel
16-year-old.
Joel on YouTube says stepson stayed away for a week. The girlfriend moved out and left the baby with us. We've had Xander ever since. Oh wow. Joel on YouTube says we've had full custody of the baby Xander for the last 6 years, and I agree with
Nice.
Amy on YouTube. Wow.
Way to
I mean,
foster.
Boom.
what?
Foster that kid.
Joel, I mean, what an angel. I mean,
Nice.
you guys
If you don't
are
want, I will.
Joel's out here crushing it.
You guys are way better than the fire department, because even if
Yes.
you leave a baby with the fire department, they still give that shit
They
away.
wait- yeah,
you
they're
guys
like,
are like, we're
2 or
gonna
3
take
days and you're out.
responsibility.
If you can't kill chili, you're out of here.
Man.
What you have done with that baby is the greatest thing you've ever done, second to writing the intro to the Love Gurus podcast.
Yes!
I think that's the first.
Yes!
You're right
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I mean, what saves?
Which
Joel,
definitely
what a
makes you
legend.
better than Jesus. Jesus, I mean, yeah.
What
Walking
say
on
you?
water, curing lepers. Never wrote the intro to the Love Gurus podcast. So you did basically what Jesus did, plus his own
I can
thing.
see the connection.
And
It
also,
kind of worked out
Solid.
best for the
Solid.
baby, right?
well, that's what I'm saying.
Without a
Like
doubt,
this
it sounds
baby
like.
definitely got the best hand that
Other
was
than being in
possible in that
Tennessee.
situation, because he could have been living.
I think so.
But instead, he gets to live with amazing Joel and his hilariousness. So yeah, Xander really lucked out. What a little legend. So,
To Xander
yeah.
and to Joel.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
yes,
awesome.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Joel Jazander, is it? Jazanthopus?
No, the baby.
I know, but it sounds like Louis C.K.'s Jazanthopus.
Oh, I don't know if we can mention him anymore. Just kidding.
Oh,
We've
sorry.
Said,
He's
we've
back.
said 87 things worse than whatever Louis C.K. did in person on this podcast. So, yeah. But
But
amazing.
to be
Yeah.
fair, I blew Louis C.K. just to get this camera. So, like, who's...
At JFL.
Yeah, at JFK. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, who's the real asshole?
Yeah.
I
Joel,
think me.
We
Joel-
are from not watching it. No,
yeah.
okay.
Joel on YouTube says, I was in the corner of Jesus, but he lost my vote when he turned the water into wine instead of beer. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Fucking A.
It's also Jesus. You
I
could
feel
have
like-
you could have
yeah.
turned
Well-
the water into a full bar. Like
And-
what a dick.
And he would have
TikTok
had.
Jesus would have done like White
Yeah.
Claws.
Listen,
or
come on,
something.
that's
He
not
would've-
really-
He would have done like a brand oriented.
Yeah, Jesus,
Right.
make me a
Miracle.
Negroni. What's
That
up?
sounds like
I
something
know.
on a
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
pillow of like a fucking house that I don't want to be in.
And
You know?
even if he were to
Yeah.
make beer, it would be warm beer.
Uh-huh.
Nothing worse
Warm
than
beer.
warm beer.
But I
I'll
think
take
that
wine over warm beer.
I think that like if you lived in sort of the Jerusalem era during that, like I don't think
Yeah, it'd be
ice
piss
was like a
warm.
really.
Yeah, it'd be
I
warm.
don't think you would have ever had a cold drink.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's
I see what you're saying.
How did you get
wouldn't
anything
know.
cold?
It's
Whiskey
just
and
actually-
darker beer was
You
kind
get
of
it.
shit.
it's just like the Indians in the sailboats
That's,
out in the ocean.
yeah.
Yeah.
They've never seen it, so they can't see it.
well, that's like cold drinks, like for people that lived anywhere where there's like not frozen water. They basically like they never had cold drinks. So there's like a famous story where these it was this I think I'll say he's from somewhere in Africa. I'll just say Kenya. there's this marathon in Brazil that they were running, and so all of the professional runners, you have like your very specific sport drink that you want, right? So the guy that's in the lead, this Kenyan guy, he accidentally grabs the wrong water bottle, and it's an ice water bottle. It's ice water from someone other runner. Accident takes a drink of it. His system seizes.
What?
And he passes out and cannot finish the race because his body has never had a cold drink before.
I was thinking
Bro,
that before you brought it up, like when you were saying people that never had it, I'm like, that's a shock. When we have it, it's a shock.
Every time you see somebody handing a little paper shot glass to runners, it is a symbol of white supremacy. Oh. That is what it is. That's
how we win the New York Marathon.
Yeah,
ice
the
water.
The guy was in the lead by like a lot. Yeah, and he totally couldn't even finish the race.
They all got to sleep and then go the next day. That's how hot.
100%.
Lead he
What was the interview like after? It was like the water was cold.
He's in a blanket. He's like shivering.
I've never had cold water. I'm the fastest person in the world, and I never had a cold drink in my life.
Bro, how do you spell cold? Like with a K or something?
They have like hot tea. He has hot tea and mittens.
I just know the facts that I just know the facts. And
I like that story a lot.
I can't describe this drink, but it wasn't hot. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know what the word is, but
I think it was lukewarm at best. This
temperature, room
about
temperature.
Why he lost the race. He was sitting there going, "Oh, it's cold."
Was that the gods doing it?
Yeah.
That was meant to be.
He was blaming it on Zeus, all kinds of nonsense. This fucking guy.
Yeah, awesome sauce. So this next question is a bit of a doozy. So let's make this our last question on the Love Gurus podcast. Okay, so last question. Husband doesn't want me to tell my ex that my ex is the father. Okay. Husband doesn't want me to tell my ex that my ex is the father. I'm 28 and my husband...
I mean, just give him the kid at that point, right? Like, that's fucking wild.
This is all manipulated.
This is, like I said, this is
weird.
I'm 28 and my husband is 39. I was engaged to a kind of controlling guy. We'll call him Kevin.
There we go.
Who's 15 years older. Well, when I was with Kevin, I got a job and prepared to move out, but then I found out I was pregnant. But I still was determined to leave the relationship, so I picked up a second job and was able to leave Kevin, who then said, well, whatever, you're going to be back. I eventually gave birth to twins. Kevin helped for the first month, but then after that, he said, I can't support two households.
Did you say twins?
Yeah, she had twins, yeah. So then Kevin said, the only way I'll support you is if you move back in with me.
They look like two dudes that look nothing like Kevin. Both of these twins.
They look like Woody Allen and his wife's kid.
I didn't know.
They look like The Rock. They look nothing like Kevin. They look nothing like Kevin.
I didn't know what to do, but so I eventually figured it out, and Kevin has never paid child support. For 2 years, Kevin would call maybe 3 times a month to ask about the kids. But eventually I started dating a great guy, Steven, and as soon as my ex, Kevin, finds out that I have a boyfriend, he suddenly wants to be involved in our twins' lives now. He came over every weekend and picked them up, and honestly, I was grateful for the help, and our relationship got so much better. And it was to the point where at one weekend, Steven and I got into a huge fight, and then he left to go to a conference, and while Steven was away, I slept with Kevin. Whoa!
Oh, snap. The third twin's on the way.
And to be fair, as a happily married man, that's when I slept with Kevin, too.
It was
your duty. It's the fucking show.
Oh, bro, that's Kevin's thing.
It was so ridiculous. I don't even know why I did it. I definitely didn't want to get back with Kevin. When Steven returned, he apologized and said that he wants to work it out. And I told him that I slept with Kevin, told him that if he could forgive me, I definitely want to get back together again. Steven thought about it for a week and then said that he still wants to be with me. After about 2 months, he proposes and said yes. A month after that, I find out I'm pregnant. It's not until I move in with Steven and my pregnant belly starts to show that Kevin says that he thinks I'm pregnant with his baby, which made me start thinking, oh, shit.
Is it a boy? Because you got balls.
I gave birth to a girl.
Is it going to be a lady because she's going to be non-binary? She's going to be one of them. I
got 2 daddies.
I gave birth to a girl, and a whole year passes. I told my fiance that I do want a DNA test just to be sure. Stephen kept saying, well, why? It doesn't matter. You know, that's definitely my daughter. So finally we get the DNA test, and Kevin's the father.
That's so funny.
Kevin is the father. Stephen cries, and he says that we just won't tell anyone. And I don't agree, because I think that we should be honest. And Kevin would also freak out.
Bro,
saying
I
that we're
had
doing it.
all my money on Steven's jizz. That's the thing. That's just why I'm such a bad gambler.
So then she kind of
Especially
keeps,
on jizz.
So she kind of keeps going on saying that now there's all these kids. Kevin has never paid child support. Blah blah blah. Like they could sue him for a bunch of back pay, whatever. Kevin sounds like a deadbeat with no money, so I don't understand where this money's going to come from. But anyway, so the point is, Stephen is a great dad with the kids, whereas Kevin is a constant flake and a deadbeat. Should she tell Kevin that he is the father? You are
I
the
told you it was Jerry
father.
Springer.
Yeah. I mean,
right. What do you think?
Here's my thing. This was a while ago. This was before Roe v. Wade got overturned. So you had an opportunity, even if you weren't sure.
No, you don't want to abort the kid. Maybe she wanted a kid.
Well, you already
And she
have
didn't
a
know
full,
till after the
you
kid
already
that
have
it
a full
wasn't his.
deck.
Oh, sure.
Well, you almost have a full deck.
I
So
know.
now, if it's
Jerry
Steven,
Falwell had heard this question,
I'm
yeah,
just
well,
saying-
no, we're getting banned
It-
from
yes,
Tennessee. That's for
it
sure.
would be illegal in every state.
If I were not 100% sure, I would be like, you know what? Good news is I can get knocked up, so let's just.
Well, the thing is, like, you had sex with him unprotected. If you didn't want a kid, have the pill, the Plan B.
Oh,
You
sure.
already
know. Yeah.
disgraced yourself in probably your own home.
Yeah.
In your own bed.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
To have like guilt and be like, oh my God, what if I'm pregnant? Then she thought, oh my God, what if I'm pregnant?
yeah. After the
She
baby
probably
was like,
knew and wanted to have it.
You think
And
so?
that judge is why I think she's not. No, you know what I mean?
Oh, so you're saying that
But
you
I
think that she thought
she could have gotten the Plan B just to be like, okay, I can cover my basis if I don't want to tell him.
I mean, to be honest, it does sound. Stephen came
He's
back
been
very
away.
soon afterwards. I mean, it was, to be honest, like a 50-50 shot. Really, get it?
Because that's what sperm does.
It shoots
It
up in
shoots
there.
into 50-50 of
It shoots them in
the
there.
woman's.
Okay, it was a
Gotcha.
bad joke.
No, I love the pun. Puns are great.
Well, I mean, Dan, what would you
50-50
do in this
shot.
situation if you were with someone?
This girl really fucked up.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she the one that's 16?
No,
right?
she's
I know. I'm
No,
just
you're blending
I'm
the
mixing up.
questions together, yeah.
Mixing up the.
She-
But still, it acts like that.
28. She's 28.
She's 28. You made a huge mistake. I think eventually Kevin is gonna find out.
I think so too.
He's gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Wow, that
that's-
kid looks like me,"
Yeah.
and I am demanding a DNA test, and you can't get him out of his life because you already have 2 kids with him.
That's
You
without
can't
a
even
doubt.
do it.
Right.
So you're gonna be in a situation where Kevin's gonna be in your life for a long time. There's nothing you can do about it, and you might as well just tell him and deal with it, and to be like, by the way, I don't want anything to do with you. And the only way you're gonna be in this kid's life is you fucking pay child support
Yeah.
and stop being a deadbeat. And then Steven, I
Yeah,
feel
I
bad for
mean-
Steven, man. I mean, you kind of look like a bitch right now. You know.
Steven, I know.
Fuck Steven. I
it's
don't
like-
like Steven.
She's like, I mean,
Steven-
because to be fair, she did tell him about the affair. At least she told him about it. That's
Good
what
on
I
her.
thought about this
Good on
question was
her.
that she at least told Steven that she cheated, because had she not and then gotten the DNA test, it's like, oh,
Well, then that's
good.
the Jerry Springer
That-
episode, right?
Oh, sure.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
agree with
think
that.
he's like
Steven might
being
leave.
so secretive. And
Oh, wait,
the
you're saying if she
beginning-
tells him?
Well, no, actually, Steven knows everything, right?
Yeah, he
Right.
knows
Steven
everything.
knows it. Yeah. Yeah,
I
man.
know.
I get why Steven doesn't want Kevin to know.
I don't like
but,
his character,
Uh,
Steven.
Steven?
Oh, really?
I don't. He's secretive. He doesn't want to tell the father that it's his kids. It's not his kids. He wants a fake life.
No. So I think how I interpret it was that Steven is a very good father to the children. And so, but Kevin is this deadbeat guy
He's
that
a
keeps
deadbeat.
coming
That's
around.
fine. I get that.
So Steven's just trying to protect these
But
kids
the whole
from
keeping
this
it from the
deadbeat.
father. And
Also, she doesn't want Kevin fucking his wife again, which is probably going to happen.
Oh yeah, that
that's
probably
more.
that
of-
probably comes into play as well. He
Yeah.
wants his wife to stop
That's-
riding that lollipop.
You know what? That's now I rethink
That
that I
sucks,
don't
man.
like Steven.
I mean-
It's just he's
Even
the
if
poor
he does
schmuck.
it once,
You know?
I mean, he doesn't want to throw baseballs to a kid that looks like Kevin.
He's the poor
right?
schmuck
Yeah.
in love with the
Even
girl
it
who's in
wasn't-
love with Kevin.
Yeah. I mean, it was just an accident.
Yeah, we're behind on some comments. So Joel on YouTube says, "No cold beer. I'm glad I wasn't born 2,000 years ago."
That was like 40 minutes ago, Joel.
I'm behind on the comments. Yeah. Amy says, "Is Kevin the dad?" Okay, I got it. Never mind. Joel says, "Kevin sounds a lot like my stepson, except for the taking responsibility part and having a place of his own. Any type of maturity. LOLs. Yeah, LOLs, Joel." Amy
Yeah.
says, "I think that she keeps blaming Kevin for her own mess." Joel says, "Nope. She should tell Kevin that the father is the security guard at the parking garage." Yeah.
Huh.
The parking garage where they had sex in his car. Yeah. Bert never gets any. Finally. He got some pute. Amy says she's just as crazy as a kid. And then Joel says, "I'm torn on this one because I hate Kevin and the original poster." Tyler says, "Are we taking Kevin into A2? I don't know what A2.
Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. Oh, yeah.
Kevin from Arizona.
Yeah.
It's debatable.
Oh, right. Yeah. But yeah, it is a question. Who do I hate more? I mean, obviously, I hate her because it's just
Right.
like, girl, like, there's people like Gloria Allred, right? There's like Michelle Obama, and it's
And
like,
how old is she?
and you're out doing this, okay? Let's
Yeah.
just try
At what
and-
age?
Let's just try. Yeah, she's 28.
Are you
Yeah, and
equating?
how old is
28.
Are you
Kevin?
equating Gloria Allred and Michelle Obama?
Well,
Like,
no, that's what you have.
I'm just saying in the
po-
sense of like, women are out here accomplishing, trying
right.
to like
That's
get
what
us
you can aspire
equal.
to.
And she's
then you're
like,
down
"Ugh,
here."
I can't
She's
even
trying
keep
to
my
blow this one
father's
Yeah.
shitty
straight."
dude. Like,
Yeah.
she's
Who doesn't
trying
even
to,
pay the
you know,
check.
I'm not
If
saying
only I
again.
could keep
I'm
this
not
one
saying
guy.
that I'm a legend. I'm just saying like let's just all try. Okay, let's just all be out here with our
The
doing our
crazy
best.
girl saying, "Let's try." We should all try.
I'm trying. I'm really
Dave
trying.
trying. Dave
How
trying.
old is Kevin? Is he
Kevin-
in the same range?
Yeah,
38
one's-
or 28?
Kevin is 43 and
Yo,
Steven is
listen.
39.
Yeah,
And how old is she? How old is this girl?
28.
I said he was 15 years
Wow.
older.
Yeah,
Okay,
and that's
all right.
another thing.
I just kind of
Was he?
Oh no,
Is he?
he's 39.
I thought, oh.
Is he at the
No,
end
Kevin.
of Vietnam
sorry,
vet?
Steven is 39. Kevin is 43.
Right. She likes him old.
Wow.
She likes him old.
She likes him old.
She likes that security.
Established, as they say.
I think she likes her bills being paid, but not the awkwardness of somebody who's going to put up with
Yeah.
some
It
kind of
could be. You
nonsense
never
like
know. What
this.
is that, gold digger? Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Some people
Yeah,
like
but-
to
but
just sit on their heinies.
Here's the thing, and in a state where there's no gold and there's more like bronze,
Well, the
and
aliens took it all,
sulfur.
so how could there be gold?
it's yeah. She's going to fuck district managers. Like that is what's going on here.
Okay, I see what you're.
Yeah,
getting
I
at.
would like
Yeah.
to see what they both do.
Yeah.
Like, their portfolio,
Yeah,
if you
'cause
will.
Here's the is she left the first relationship because it wasn't great. But you're right that she didn't clarify that. She said that he was controlling, which actually is a someone who has money does tend to be controlling.
Steven's
'cause,
controlling, right?
Kevin.
Kevin was.
Kevin was
Oh,
controlling.
that's where I mixed it up. I thought Steven was.
Actually, yeah, because I've been calling Kevin. I
'Cause he
think
wanted
is,
to be secretive.
Kevin, I think, is the worst deadbeat dad in that he's a rich deadbeat dad.
Okay.
You know,
and
it's-
controlling. If you're a
Yeah.
deadbeat, you're like, hey, do whatever you want.
That's
Just
the
don't
worst
include
kind
me.
of deadbeat dad. Because like if
Yeah.
you're like an alcoholic, broke, drunk dad, it's like that's one thing. Okay, we get
Right.
it. You're out here doing your best. But if you have like a well-paying job and you still don't take care of your kid, you're the worst
shit.
deadbeat dad.
Yeah, and
Shit,
also
yeah.
also take him to court. And if he's got the money, take him to court for 3 kids.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
If you have
Yeah.
now 3 kids, the
Now
courts
that- okay.
do not.
If
Now-
he's got money, he's got to pay.
Yeah.
And you should
should
tell him
pay.
because the kids need that money.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, but-
I'm
but-
on
and-
this guy.
But it's also
yeah.
like
Not
you,
only-
you can't squeeze a turnip, right? So
Well,
it's
no,
like,
they're saying he
this
might
guy
have money.
doesn't
Yeah,
sound like
but
a billionaire.
child support, like that shit can get like taken
Out
out
of your
paycheck.
taxes and
That-
yeah,
I mean
right.
that is like like if you get court ordered to pay child support, like you have to pay it.
I'm just saying,
Right.
as a guy who has roughly 7 ex stepdads, I mean, they
You
They're
have
stepdads,
you have
though.
7
Well,
stepdads.
did the regular dad
Ex-stepdads.
pay? The regular dad can
No.
pay, but the ex they don't.
I was
they don't pay.
left with the regular dad. I'm just saying they roll their fucking eyes when it comes to it's like you have to pay.
Is
this,
that a
but,
gambling
like,
reference? They roll
yes.
their eyes.
All
They
of them
spend all their money.
All of them are gambling addicts.
Oh, I'd
So
play craps
it-
with someone's glass
Yes.
eye. 100%.
Yes.
Well, it is New York City.
I've seen a guy's glass eye in child court. It was a dark day. It was
Speaking
fucking
of
weird.
child court, that's another thing. Like these kids, he doesn't have anything to do with them. The one thing that as a foster, I work with foster kids. The one thing that you miss is the characteristics, what I may turn into. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's.
And if you're
I've-
not
I've
around
read
your
about-
kids
yeah.
enough to see personality and how they're going to think that they're Stevens and be like misguided.
Yeah.
Like what if Kevin is an alcoholic and Steven's not? And they're like, yeah, go ahead and drink. And now you're fueling the fire of these
Yeah.
kids to be like,
Oh yeah. Well,
You know what I
I
mean?
read that about like just kids that are adopted. It's like they don't have that sense of like where they came from, which it's
Yeah.
like if you don't like really talk
you
about
have
it,
to be
you
introspective.
have to like get
a lot of them
you have to get
can't
that
hold
shit.
their liquor. That's what I found with
That's
them.
true too, and that's where the sex comes in. That's
you
where
have you have to hang around
Not true, I'm just
with
kidding.
the actual fathers
kidding.
and be like, listen,
we are-
it's called a shot and the beer, not both. It's,
or
you know.
Boilermaker. Those are
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah.
I love
Uh-huh.
those.
I have
Yeah.
a few comments. Joel on YouTube says, "Great show tonight. Suzanne outdone herself tonight." Well, thanks, Joel.
Yes.
That's right.
Amy says, "Yes, aw, thanks, guys." Joel says, "Going to court isn't an option here." LOL. My stepson has at least 3 kids. He never paid anything for Xander. He gave up parenting rights for one and pays on the third. Can you say useless human?
Is this live? Are they
Wow.
commenting on what we comment? The
You
people
know-
who are.
I guess.
Wow.
I guess to
this
be
is
fair,
great.
maybe I should maybe consult with someone who has experience in like child support. But I just know that it's possible for child support to get like taken out of your paycheck before you get. I know it's possible, but
Yeah,
you know,
very
as
much
Joel
so.
is pointing out, the system broke. It's broke. And yeah, okay. So
It's
maybe
very
maybe we should
manipulative.
cut. So based on what Joel is educating me on, I'm gonna say let's cut Kevin out. We don't give a shit if he's gonna come around and need a kidney later.
Dude.
Sorry, Kevin. Guess you should have bought me some Kellogg's when I was 6.
If I was Steven, I'd be so tempted to just leave this whole situation. I was like, you keep on fathering.
I'm out.
You keep on fathering
It-
children with your
Yes.
fucking
Right.
But I agree with you.
ex-husband.
Right.
Steven could totally Homer Simpson back into a hedge and just be gone.
Either
And,
way,
like,
he's the good guy.
he
If
ain't-
he leaves or if he stays.
Yeah, he's
He's the
not,
golden child.
He honestly like has he has no dog in this fight. He has no child in the basket. It like he could just leave. Yeah, I mean, she
He's
should.
more of a saint if he stays.
Yeah, he's more of
Either way, I think Joe Biden should forgive all of Steven's
Student debt? Yeah, I think you're right. Even his Burger King bill. Let's give it to him.
His student debt and child support bills. That
Well,
is
I don't
what
know about that.
I'm on board with that.
and Joel, we appreciate your comment. We know that you love your little
love you,
Xander,
Joel.
so you don't have to. You're a gem and ours, but yeah, so we honestly appreciate your rawness.
Seriously,
I'm
like what
especially
sign are
me.
you?
Best.
Me and Amy love all of the Volume
Yeah.
Maniacs, man. We love you guys.
Yeah. But yeah, so I would say my final advice for this question, again, there's just so much to unpack here. I would say, Steven, hopefully stick around because your girl train wreck and she kind of needs a babysitter. So, yeah, and for her kids too, and for her.
Right.
But then I think let's cut Kevin out. Let's cut Kevin out.
Steven's
That's my
got
final
it.
advice.
And you got a young girlfriend. You probably expected this.
Yeah.
Stay on board.
Just
Just
make it
be
fun.
diligent.
Yeah. What do you guys? What final advice do you have?
I'm almost kind of tempted to reverse what I said before.
Really?
And be, No,
Okay.
and be like, you know what? Just lie to Kevin about the and just do what Steven wants because he's the only reliable person in this situation.
Yeah,
Maybe,
because
maybe, but you're hurting the kids.
Losing Steven is a way worse risk
Kevin,
than
Yeah,
Yeah,
as time
that
goes
makes
on,
sense.
Kevin might be like, man, that kid looks like me and my other 2 kids. And he might demand a DNA test, in which case you're fucked.
Yeah.
But and that's the only thing like I'm worried about is like Kevin. It seems like Kevin will find out. You know,
Yeah.
but
I
if there's a
s-
way you can do that without him finding out, then I'd say listen to Stephen and lie about
I say,
lie to Kevin, especially if he's a piece of shit. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Keep it going for as long as you can.
I say, tell him you have a big surprise, but he has to go to like therapy or ayahuasca ceremonies to like get the deadbeatness, because there's something up.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. You're a deadbeat. You have 3 beautiful children, whatever, with somebody else.
Yeah.
Find out what your thing is. Get over that, and I'll tell you the secret. You now have another son or daughter,
Yeah,
whatever
it
it
doesn't
was. And I think you have to. It is your obligation to tell Kevin those. Well, he already knows 2 of them, but that's your kid, because 1, they need to know that their genes are over there, and 2, he has to be the father that maybe he wants to be or you want him to be before he can be introduced to them.
Kevin's-
So
Yeah.
it's some kind of therapy, and then you get to meet your new.
Kevin's in his
Okay.
40s. Is there really that much room for growth in him?
Oh,
do
yeah,
you
of
think,
course,
that he
without
could,
a
like, not be
doubt.
you're kind of settled as a piece of shit at that
No,
point.
I don't think so at all. I know that people stay into their routines, but with certain therapy.
Of impregnating ex-wives.
Well, that's a fun one,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
especially when she invites you.
Yeah. Okay. So Jake, any final advice?
Yeah, I say, let the kid crush it, and then deny any responsibility until the kid's over the fucking moon, and then you're like, yeah, that's my kid.
That might
Yeah.
be a way to go. Have like a sturdy, sound growth, and then right before college, be like, listen, that's your dad. Sorry, you know.
Kevin was also demanding a DNA test. I also forgot, right? Like
Oh,
he,
really?
He was like in the story. He's like, he thinks it's his, right?
Yeah.
He Kevin does think it's
So
his.
that's
So
gonna
I think
happen.
that the possibility of him at some point in the future demanding a DNA test are good. But again, but also,
Plus,
but
you
if
can-
Kevin,
just the timeline of the kid.
yeah, but also, why would Kevin demand a DNA test when obviously then that's going to immediately go into court and then
right
you
now
know what I mean?
Plus,
I'm on the.
Like
I mean,
you
but
know,
like-
he knows that if he
The bill for
he
another
knows that
kid.
if he does that, he's then gonna get like more child support, at least like legal
Yeah.
drama. That you know, it's at least he's gonna get a Tuesday taken away from him.
Right.
Know what I'm saying?
Right.
Plus, what we've learned from the Our Father doc is that there's absolutely zero regulation in the fertility industry in the U.S. So you could bribe one of these motherfuckers with about $20 and
I see
a
what you're
bump off of a shot in a beer glass. Like they don't give a
I
shit.
mean, I
so
think you're-
How
You're
about this?
right.
How about this for a viable solution? The girl tells Kevin exactly what's happening.
Okay.
And he goes, if you try and change anything about this situation that we're in now,
Yeah.
and try and encroach in on our lives anymore, we're going
I
to
see where
court.
you're going.
Yeah.
I
We're going to
think
court.
that's-
And I'm telling you right now,
That's a
I'm
good
telling you
idea.
this, but we're handling this out of court, and you're not going to change anything, or you're going to be on the line for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
I
don't
think
have-
he
Yeah.
would be
And
willing
If he
to
goes,
do that.
fine, we'll do it, then you get the fucking money that you need from him.
Right.
Get that money.
Right.
And then you can also, the judge can also nail him and be like, yeah, one day a week you see them on
Yeah.
every other Saturday,
Right.
asshole.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, that's a great
we
solution.
blackmail
As far as
you at
all the
least.
people who wrote in, I think you gave
Yes.
them the best
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best
advice.
solution.
Or
If you
kill
don't
yourself.
do at least
Yeah.
5%
Option
of
B.
your father
Die.
utilities, we will kill you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Joel on YouTube
I'll help you
says
with that.
Kevin wanted
Yes.
a DNA
We'll-
test,
we'll
but he
light 'em
couldn't
up.
even spell it. Agreed. Yeah. Well, awesome. I think we answered that question. I think we answered all these questions real good
Yes.
this week, and it has been an amazing
Thank
episode.
you, guys.
Thank you so
You
much
guys
to
have been awesome.
our two guests, Christopher Wagner and Daniel Louis Vezza. And also huge thanks to all of our listeners and everyone in the chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Until next week. Later.